This is the story of Victor the control valve. In a town full of pipes where the liquids all flow, lived a fellow named Victor, with a status quite pro. Now, Victor wasn't human, let's be perfectly clear. He was a control valve, the best engineer. His body was cast iron, his posture was stout, his job was to let the right pressure out. "I'm the boss of the flow," Victor would boast with a grin, "whether oil or water or gin goes within." You see, pipes are like highways for steam and for goo, but without a good leader, they wouldn't know what to do. The pump pushes hard like a bull in a pen, but Victor says, "Slow down or I'll close up again." He tames every surge with a flick of his stem to save the whole plant from a pipe burst mayhem. But high-pressure trouble is starting to brew. Follow the story of Victor for part number 2. The pressure is building, the pump's in a tizzy. Without any help, poor Victor would get dizzy. He needs some real muscle to keep the flow right, so he wears an actuator packed with some might. It pushes and pulls with the strength of a whale to make sure the liquid stays inside the rail. But strength isn't all that a smart valve requires. He needs a sharp brain for the work he admires. The positioner sits like a scout on his shoulder, correcting his moves as the pressure gets bolder. "Open just halfway" is the command that it brings, and Victor hits the mark as the pipework all sings. He's brawny and brainy, a hero in chrome, keeping things safe in his industrial home. But bubbles are brewing, a popping surprise. Follow for part 3, where the cavitation flies. Now Victor's in a pickle. He's starting to groan, a sound from his belly like rocks being thrown. It isn't a ghost or a rattling chain, it's cavitation, the control valve's main bane. When liquid moves fast through a gap that is tight, the pressure drops down with a terrifying might. Tiny vapor bubbles begin to appear, but when they collapse, that's the moment to fear. They pop and they punch at Victor's metal-lined skin, like miniature grenades exploding within. It eats at his trim and it pits every part. It's enough to break any control valve's heart. To fight off the bubbles, he needs tougher gear or anti-cav holes to make them disappear. But what if the liquid turns fully to gas? Follow for part 4, Let the Flashing Pass. Now, cavitation was loud, but there's something more smashing. When bubbles don't pop, it is known as the flashing. The pressure stays low so the liquid turns gas, and sandblasts poor Victor as the vapors all pass. It screams and it whistles, a high-speed attack, trying to turn Victor to a piece of old junk in a rack. But Victor's got some stellite and hardened-faced trim to keep all those vapors from eating at him. Yet even a hero needs love and a look to stay the best valve in our industrial book. A maintenance checkup, a gasket, a seal restores his pro status and metallic appeal. From steam to the chemicals, acids, and brine, if Victor's in control, then the factory is fine. So cheers to the valve and his brawn and his brain, keeping things flowing and sparing the strain.